You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. Wow, Haitian in the PA. I'm about to hate it because you are now rocking with that keep them held high. This is ready, forget about it, goodbye. Just saying, I'm about to hate it because you are now rocking with that keep them held high.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it wonderful, making it positive. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Your boy's been busy today. Well out there, enjoying your day, making it wonderful. Your boy's been busy. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Your boy's been busy. Monday. I mean, your boy's been busy. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Your boy's been busy. It has been a busy day. I mean, let me just say, good morning, a lot of things that have been popping off. It has been a busy day. I mean, let me just say, good morning, a lot of. Sorry about that, guys. I fixed it. But nonetheless, this has been a wild, wild day. A lot of information, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of breaking news, a lot of information. And then on top of that, we got this new information, which we were already kind of waiting for. But now it's on and popping. And now we got some new information about this. And it's crazy, y'all. Okay, we had the information about Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson being let go and fired. Okay, or being fired and let go, or walking off. I don't know, quitting, I guess. Today, we're watching the last half or the last bit of the Letitia Stouch trial right now as we speak. And of course, we are still covering and talking about the situation with the Idaho 4, with Brian Kohberger and all that. And now we're getting something interesting, y'all. And you see the title down below or up above, wherever you're watching this show. This is no joke. There is now paperwork. I told you guys. If it's real solid information, if there's paperwork, etc., documents, whatever, you name it, we are going to be talking about it here on the show. Any of that other BS is for the birds, okay? Any of that other crap that's just filler, tabloidy crap is for the birds. We're going to get straight down to what really matters, okay, which is this trial that we are starting to get closer to. We're only months away, we're only now, you could say weeks away, sort of. So we're going to get into some things. And it has been a busy day. But please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. That would really, really mean a lot, okay? Please crush it. Please and thank you. That would be fantastic. And of course, do not forget to destroy that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. It'd be greatly appreciated, and it'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family, okay? And your boy's working hard out here in these streets. So if this is your first time or second time or 10th time seeing the show and you still haven't hit that subscribe button, what's wrong with you? I'm playing. Just hit it. You'll thank me later. Okay, and of course, hit that notification bell and set it to all so that you know whenever I go live or whenever I upload, because it be random sometimes, okay? Or as of late, your boy's been busy. But we got to get into this, okay? Because we got a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of new information going on right now. We talked about this yesterday with a good friend of the show, Sleuthy Goosey. I was hoping that she was going to be able to come and join us this evening, but unfortunately, she's not able to because she's busy, of course, understandably. Maybe she'll be able to, I don't know. Maybe she'll be able to join us later on in the show. I don't know. But had to get this show out because tomorrow's a very long day and there's a lot going on tonight as well. But I told you guys I would talk about this and bring this conversation up. Now, Sleuthy did not email me, but she did DM me this information while we were doing our live watch party of the Letitia Stouch trial. And I felt obligated to give you guys this information because I feel like tomorrow we'll be in that trial again we won't have time to fully jump into it all. Okay. So now we got this information. Yesterday, we talked about it. Over the weekend, we found out that Bethany Funke, however you say her last name, has been subpoenaed as a material witness for the trial, for BK's trial. Now, the thing is we've all been wondering, is this for Brian Kohberger? Is this for his defense? Or is this for the prosecution? Is it prosecutors calling her in, or is it the defense calling her in? We now have more information revolving around that. And one of the things might be surprising to you. Some of you guys, it might be old news to y'all. Okay. But for everyone else, I'm sure it will be shocking nonetheless. Now, one thing that we do know for sure, I'll just say that out loud right now, is that this is a subpoena on Brian Kohberger's behalf. Yeah. The defense is going, yo, we need her. Because you see right there, you see it on the top or on the bottom of where the title is. It says exculpatory evidence. Now, you might be wondering, what is exculpatory? Exculpatory basically is evidence that would exonerate. Evidence, information that could exonerate a person who is up looking at being named guilty. Okay? So there's information. I think this is very important for us to like fully consume with our heads, our minds, and consume with our eyeballs, which we will be looking at here very, very shortly. But I do want to show you guys, I want to get straight to a piece that I think is very interesting, and we should take a look at that first. I know I'm starting off at the end, and then we're going to go work backwards, or we're going to start from the beginning here in a second. But I think a lot of you guys are going to be very interested in seeing what I see here, which is right here. Okay. Now, it might be a little difficult for you guys to see. I'll try to move this around or something, but it's not wanting to be my friend. So I'll read it for you guys. This is the end, second to last bullet. Okay. So number 11, during the course of my investigation, because allegedly this is, just so you guys know, this is allegedly, okay. This is allegedly from a private investigator. So a private investigator has been doing their thing, and they came up with their own stuff. So this is from the criminal investigator involved in this case, and is saying that they got information that they feel could help in Brian Kohberger's case. Now, let me read this for you guys. It says, during the course of my investigation, the private investigator, it became known to me that Bethany Funke has information material to the charges against Mr. Kohberger. Portions of information Miss Funke is exculpatory to the defendant. Bethany's information is unique to her experiences and cannot be provided by another witness. Now, obviously, I went straight for the meat right now, went straight for the end of the story. Okay. And we are going to get into the paperwork here in just a minute. But as we see this, according to this private investigator, okay, that's, in my personal opinion, very important to listen to or to remember. They believe that Bethany has information that could help in BK's narrative. That she has information that could help the defense. Now, here's the thing. You got to remember, innocent till proven guilty, okay? We got to play that game. This is innocent till proven guilty. This is just how the world works, and this is how court works. Now, what if there is information that she has that could very well exonerate this man? We have to think about that. Okay? We definitely have to think about that. Keep that in the back of our minds. Okay? Now, I got a members chat real quick. Thank you so much, Mrs. and Mr. Steelers, for being a member for the past 11 months. I really do appreciate it. Hi, everyone in Pascal. I've missed lives lately, but have been lurking and part of the replay crew, sending love. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. It really does mean a lot. And just like Mrs. and Mr. Steelers, consider hitting that join button down below and becoming a member here. That would really, really mean a lot. It keeps these purple lights on, which you don't see right now, but to show you purple lights. Okay. So that'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. So let's continue on. So the thing is that is just the tip of the iceberg here. There's a whole lot more information here, which is wild. And the thing is before we go into this even further, okay, before we go into this further, I just want to make sure I have this this video one more time, because we need to have this. Let me just make sure I have it. Sorry, 1 second, guys. I've played this 100,000 times, but we're playing it again. Not right now, but we are going to play it again for all of us, in the, just for a quick reminder of everything that we have heard as of late. Real quick, one thing I have to say is that when you see stuff like this, when you hear information like this, it does make you wonder, what the hell is going on with the media? What the hell is going on with that probable cause affidavit? Now, I know before you guys jump down my throat, a lot of y'all going to be like, oh, well, they don't give all the information out. I get it. I'm with you 110%. But it's very interesting. The information that we're hearing now, which we are going to hear in just a minute, is completely different from what we have been given out here in these media streets. It is very interesting. Now, I'm not trying to knock media, but it does make you wonder, why didn't they just wait to get this information before they jumped down this hole of possible misinformation? Who are their sources? You know what I mean? Who does number 2 work for? You know what I'm saying? Little Austin Powers, guys. But you know what I'm saying? Why would they go on and start coming out with this type of BS? Just saying out loud. I have to ask that. Real quick, though, too. Thank you, Jennifer Lynn. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm telling you right now, guys, just like Jennifer, hit that join button down below. Join the family. Support this channel if you can. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Nini Panini, I don't know if this is incredible. It's just shocking to me. And it sounds like there's a whole new narrative that we didn't even know existed until possibly right now. And again, I will say this too. There's a lot that we're not going to hear about until the actual trial. But this paperwork does say something interesting. And again, this is a private investigator, okay? This is a private investigator. This is not coming out of her own mouth. This is just a private investigator. So we kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, unfortunately. Okay? Unfortunately. Real quick, Jersey Devil. The reason why you didn't get a notification is because actually I need to real quick before we even continue. The reason why is because this is my 4th upload. So YouTube doesn't like it when you do more than 3 a day. And this was a big story. So I'm like, yo, we got to do this. Not like, I got to talk about this. Okay. So real quick before we continue, and I need to pause this. Before we continue, let me just share this in the community page real quick. Let me share this on the community page so everybody knows. There we go. Posted it there. Hold on. Whoops. And then one more again. And then this. Okay. Hopefully everybody will get that notification and they'll start filing in. But yeah, because of YouTube, if you do more than just you do more than 3 a day, the fourth one kind of gets like, stuffed in the corner. Okay. So just letting you guys know all about that. Now, real quick, Latif, thank you so much for, that's dope. Thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Welcome to the family, Giovanna, Elisa. Let's see, Elisa, where did they go? Elisa, truth be told, Charlana, and Sarah Marie. Thank you so much for becoming or welcome and enjoy those memberships. Okay. All right. Moving on. And I think there was another member. Yes. Welcome, Zoomer Mom. Zoomer Mom. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Dag nab. Thank you. And yes, gamer lover, Latif, you are awesome. That's my brother right there. Okay. I mean, I got many brothers, but you know what I'm saying? That's my dude. All right. Love you, man. Appreciate your support. But let's get back into the story at hand. Here it is. We got more information here. So we got to look at this too, because there's many other bullets here, many other points that they're saying is reasons why they want to bring Bethany in. And again, this is extremely interesting to me. Let me repeat this one more time. I'm probably going to say it a bunch of times throughout this stream. So just go with it, okay? We're going to do it live. We got to remember that probable cause affidavit said nothing about Bethany Funke. Nothing. They said, oh, yeah, BF was there, and then that's it. Don't worry, we're going to pull that up again, too. Just so you guys can remember, little trip down memory lane. We're going to skip on down the road. We're going to do that. Just to remind you, because they said nothing about her. Everything about DM. There were so many videos, so much content about what did she do during the time. Why did it take them 6 hours to call the cops? Why, DM? Why? There were so many of those things. Nothing about Bethany. She was in the clear. She'd been in the clear until now. Let's take a look. There's some weird stuff, man. It's some weird stuff. Let's go. Here it is. So I want to show you guys proof positive in the district court of the 2nd Judicial District. Gosh, I can't say the words. Of the state of Idaho in and for the county of Latah. Okay? State of Idaho, plaintiff versus BK. We already know the rest. Affidavit in support of motion for out-of-state service. So they're trying to bring her in. Okay? Straight up. They're trying to bring her in. We already know that ish from the other show. So, Richard Bitonti, okay, being first duly sworn upon oath, deposes and says, 1, I am a criminal investigator hired by the defense to assist in the representation of BK. 2, I was asked by appointed counsel, Ancy Taylor, to investigate the alleged incident which led to the arrest of BK. Pretty simple stuff so far. I'm going to try to blow this up, but that's going to be let me see if I can make that happen. Okay. That might make it better. Ooh, even better. There we go. 3, Brian is charged with 4 counts of first-degree M and 1 count of burglary. These are simple things that we know so far. The demise, or all these deaths took place in a 3-story home. There are 2 bedrooms on each floor. Bedrooms on each floor, and a kitchen, dining, and living room on the middle floor. Kohberger is alleged to have entered the house around 4 a.m. while 6 people were sleeping/present, unaliving 4 people in 2 separate rooms. Now, this is the stuff that we already been known, okay? We've been known this stuff, all right? But it gets a little bit interesting. Let's continue. The people unalived were located in 2 bedrooms, one on the 2nd floor and the other on the 3rd floor. We already know this. Bethany, 7. Bethany's bedroom was on the 1st floor, which we already knew, okay? 8. The surviving roommate's bedroom was on the 2nd floor. Okay, the other surviving roommate, which is DM, which is, everybody can say it together, Dylan. Okay, we all know about that. Now, here's the interesting part, because it's not been said. We had not heard it in the probable cause affidavit. Okay? Bethany Funke was interviewed by police on several occasions. She disclosed things she heard and things she saw. Let me repeat that one more time for the nosebleed seats. See, now it's getting my dogs upset and everything, but here it is. She was interviewed by police on several occasions. Now, let's break this down, okay? Let's keep it real. When it comes to her being interviewed by police on several occasions, obviously, right? She's involved in one of the biggest tragedies of this decade right now, okay? Of this past year, okay? We are still blown away over what happened, and I can only imagine what she's gone through, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that she probably hasn't truly processed, okay? I'm sure there's things that she has not fully, truly processed yet. So of course cops are going to keep coming back and asking her, like, we got to get back to that night again. Where were you again? What were you doing? Did you hear anything? Did you see a man in all black with bushy eyebrows, lanky? Did you see any of those things? So on and so forth, right? Okay, so I understand being interviewed several occasions, but this is the part that I still find it weird. The last half, the second sentence on number 9, okay? She disclosed things she heard and things she saw.
A source close to the victims' families has told me that Bethany never, ever emerged from the basement room. Like, she never came upstairs. She left the home and was outside in the chaos in the front of the house. But never did go to that 2nd floor, never did see the carnage.
You heard that. She said she never once saw anything. She never once laid her eyes on anything. Now, let me bring this back one more again, okay? Just trying to bring that. I'm just trying to throw into your brains what we've been consuming, videos that we all been doing, okay? All of us have sat down and talked about this for hours on end. Bethany saw nothing. That seems weird. That seems odd. That seems crazy, right? Let's continue on for this, though. She says she disclosed things that she heard and things she saw. I'm sorry. I know that is just a sentence, and it's like, oh, it's just, a few words. Who gives an ish? You got to remember, probable cause said nothing. The information that's being spread out here like wildfire is saying that she saw nothing. that she just walked out after everything went bad. She saw a whole bunch of people congregating outside the front of her house, and she saw nothing. She saw none of the carnage. She saw none of the nothing. Now she is saying, now they're saying in documents, legal documents, guys, legal documents saying exactly the opposite. Now, then again, I will come back to this sentence in a second, okay? I will come back to that. So here, let's go on to 10, shall we? It says Bethany Funke was present at the home 8 hours later when police were called, arrived on scene, and discovered the homicides. Don't worry, just let that sentence sink in your brains for a second. Say what? Hold up. Hit that rewind. Let me read number 10 one more again for that ass, because this part doesn't make sense either. Bethany Funke was present at the home 8 hours later when police were called, arrived on scene, and discovered discovered the carnage.
A source close to the victims' families has told me that Bethany never, ever emerged from the basement room. Like, she never came upstairs.
She was present at the home 8 hours later when police were called, arrived on scene, and discovered the carnage. And hold on. Where's my mouse? Gemma Jita, thank you so much for the comment on YouTube. The PCA doesn't need to have all the information / evidence. We were told from the beginning to ignore rumors in the media and only go off what is released through court records. You're absolutely 110% right. But it is a bit weird when you read the probable cause affidavit and there's nothing of her account at all. Nothing. That's just a bit weird. Everyone else's, like the other roommate's account is there, but you hear nothing of hers. And that I find a bit weird. I get it that you don't have to have all the information / evidence and all that. And of course, the police are going to be holding a lot of things close to the vest and all that stuff too. But at the same time, you hear one surviving roommate's account for the, loosely, and you hear nothing from her. It's a bit odd. Then, of course, now, and you're right, we shouldn't be sitting there listening to what's going on. We shouldn't be, sitting there obsessing over what media is saying if they don't have anything solid showing us paperwork, showing us proof positive that nothing bad, showing us proof positive that say she just walked out and she never saw anything, right? So hold on. So I do find that a bit interesting. Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing. Thought we had a lot of evidence as well. I mean, allegedly, they have a bunch of stuff that they're combing through, Tyler, but I don't know. But nonetheless, this part, like I said, is very, very interesting. She was present at home 8 hours later when police were called. She arrived at the scene and discovered the carnage. It's a bit weird. I will say that. But well, let's continue. I already said this part, but I'm going to repeat it again for those of y'all who are just getting late to the party. And of course, I got to finish that. Okay. During the course of my investigation, this criminal investigator, this private eye, it became known to me that Bethany has information material to the charges against Mr. Kohberger. Portions of information that Bethany has is exculpatory to the defendant. So now her information is unique to her experiences and cannot be provided by another witness. So this information cannot be provided by Dylan. Bethany got the information, but not Dylan. Remember, I was talking about this with Sleuthy Goosey yesterday, and we got into a conversation, right? We were talking about this, and I said, I literally said out loud, you cannot tell me that they're not going to want to subpoena Dylan. And of course, obviously, depending on who subpoenaed her, you know, if it was prosecution and they want Bethany, and if the story is still remains is that she knew nothing and she woke up and walked out of the house and that's all it is, that's one thing, right? Then I can understand her not really needing to be subpoenaed, and that Dylan, the one who allegedly saw this man's bushy eyebrows and his physique, yes, she should be subpoenaed. She should be subpoenaed like a mug. But now we're hearing something completely different about Bethany, which is actually really fascinating, don't you think? Fascinating as hell. Fascinating as hell. Wouldn't you say? It's fascinating, guys. I'm still, my mind is still blown on this. Okay. But we now see something interesting here. So Bethany resides. Let's continue to number 12. Bethany resides in the state of Nevada, and it is necessary to subpoena this witness because the witness's testimony is material and necessary to this case. Now, I have many questions, and there's another bunch of paperwork, which we're going to look at here briefly as well, or in a little bit here as well. But we got to look at this. I got many questions now. Okay. I got very much many questions. I've got questions. I got questions, y'all. I got a lot of questions here, y'all, because this is confusing. And I can see how this confuses a lot of people, because you got to remember, we've been looking at and leaning on this affidavit like a mug. We've been leaning on that like a motherfucker. Okay. We have been, understandably, because those are the only pieces of information that we have out here in these streets. So we hold on to it. And what Gemma said earlier is right. And what you all have said a million times over. Okay. You're absolutely right. Well, you know, this is the reason why, because, you know, they just don't give all the information. Clearly we get that. But what is up with them leaving out? They left it all out. They left it out, man. Hold up. Now you got me looking for the dang probable cause. Okay. Now you got me pulling up the probable cause affidavit. Alpha David. Okay, but we got it right here. Splat out. Let's get into it. Boom, boom, boom. Da, 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 da. We all know this stuff. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Now there is mention of her. Okay. Let's not get it twisted. There is mention of her right here. Okay. DM and BF. That's Dylan and Bethany. Okay. Both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of King Road residence were at home at 2 a.m. and asleep or at least in their rooms by approximately 4 a.m. Okay. We already know about the DoorDash driver, which is very interesting as well. Okay. DoorDash order that she received, that Xana received at around 4 a.m. Of course, we already know about the information about her on messing around on her cell phone. Okay. But it continues on. And I want you to notice this. And I hate to be bringing back old stuff, but I'm bringing it back for a reason. Okay. If you notice, if you just skim through and look through just this next paragraph and the next paragraph, these two paragraphs really quick, you see DM, 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 DM. You see a bunch of DMs. Nothing says anything about Bethany. DM, DM. I don't need to read through all this stuff. We already been through this. We do know that the only information that we received is her account. And I even said this in a past show. Then we finally say, oh, there it is. But the only reason why that they even bring up Bethany's name again, because obviously Dylan saw a male, bushy eyebrows, wearing all black mask, so on and so forth. We already heard all that ish. We heard all of that, but not once in this probable cause do we hear her account. Not once. So you got all this information and you don't hear anything from her, from Bethany. And I even talked about this in another live a long time ago. I said, why haven't we heard anything from her? Why isn't there any account of her? That is weird. That is weird, y'all. Okay. And real quick, Sleuthy. Yeah, if you're around, Sleuthy, love to have you on. Okay. But I understand you're out there taking care of business. Okay. But would love to have you on here because I, love to get your you get your opinion on this. So we will be here, okay, chopping it up and talking, okay. And I was hoping to have her back on this particular show. We need to talk about this for show, okay. So hopefully she'll hop on in a little bit. She's still she's still working, okay. But as I was saying, you see nothing. You see nothing. Exactly. Thank you. It is big. That sounded weird. Sorry. But yes, this information is big. Okay? This is big. But again, I'm bringing up probable cause affidavit for a very solid reason. You hear nothing, okay? You hear nothing of of BF. Except when they say the combination of DM statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from BF and DM's phone, and a video of a suspect video, as described below, leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. That is it. And then the rest is DM, DM, DM. No accounts. I'm skimming through it one more time. Skimming through it. Nothing else from BF. Nothing. And then they go into like the towers and the vehicle and all that ish. But other than that, you don't hear nothing else, y'all. Nothing else. That's weird. That's weird. So I just have to pull that up and show that to you guys because I find that a bit odd. And understandably, everybody and their mama was hopping on the what happened, including myself, was hopping on the what happened with Dylan. Why did it happen? Why did Dylan do what she did? Why was it several hours until she actually called 911? So on and so forth. Now let's get back to this piece. And I got questiones, got a lot of questiones. Let's look at this last piece again. I'm sorry. This is huge pieces of information in my personal opinion. And now let me just say this too. Now you have Bethany sitting here saying, I don't want to be brought in. Okay? She doesn't want this life. You know what I mean? She don't want this. She's trying to quash this subpoena. She don't want to be here. But let's be real. Take a look. I don't blame the defense for bringing her in. I don't. Okay? I don't blame it at all. I don't blame the defense for bringing her in now. Because if there's information and if this private investigator ain't full of lies right now, and she really does have information, I'm sorry, I want to hear it myself. And don't get me wrong, I'm on the side of the fence of him guilty. But at the same time, he could very well be innocent. She might have information here that could completely set this man free. He could kick rocks. That's not great information. That doesn't make me happy. Okay? This doesn't make me happy. Because I'm hoping this is the monster. This is the guy. But if it ain't, why keep this guy locked up? Does that make sense? If she's got information, yeah, he was blonde and 5'4". He kind of looked like a blonde Joe Pesci. If it was like that, he looked like a round, short, blonde-haired, huge goatee, like ZZ Top and Danny DeVito had a baby. If that was the case, and we're looking at this lanky ass BK, I'd be like, nah, that don't fit you. Unless you're wearing stilts underneath those clothes and got on keto. I don't think so. Okay. Just saying. Tyler said that, Pascal, that's very specific. What the F? I don't know. But you know what I'm saying. Okay. We're just do I know people like that? No. Not at all. Okay. But all I'm saying is, yo, somebody getting weak on a blonde Joe Pesci. I'm just saying, you just never know. Okay. Okay. You just never know. But let's get back into this piece right here. Okay. One more again. Hold on. Let me make sure I have this stuff popped up. Hold on. Right here. Okay. Just want to make sure I have this up so I see you guys and all that. Thank you. Okay. Now, where's Sleuthy? Yes, I agree. This is due process. It is important to all of us. I absolutely agree with that as well. And should she show up? Should the courts not quash it? Yeah. Sorry, but yeah. Okay. Just saying. But let's look into this, okay? Again, number 9 and number 10 are very serious information in comparison to when we've heard nothing else, and we've only heard things from sources like here saying she didn't know, she wasn't there. She wasn't a part of it. All she did was walk out. She didn't see none of it. Well, we're hearing something completely different here. Again, we already know that, of course, she would be interviewed by police no matter what. The fact that she was being interviewed by police on several occasions doesn't mean any, or it's protocol. That's typical, in my personal opinion. That is typical. Now, let's talk about this next sentence. Disclose things she heard and things she saw. Now, if it was she saw nothing, because I know some of you guys will be sitting here going, hey, wait a second. Wait a second. You know, why are we dwelling on heard and, things she heard and things she saw? And some of y'all out here might go, hey, well, it's so. That means she could easily disclose that she saw nothing and heard nothing, right? Then why would there be a subpoena for her to be a material witness on behalf of Brian Kohberger? If she saw nothing, then there would not be a private investigator sitting here saying, we'd like her to come through. We need her to be here because the things that she has, the information that she has is exculpatory on Brian Kohberger's behalf. If she saw something, if she saw nothing and heard nothing, none of this paperwork would even exist, y'all. Not a damn thing. Okay? So let's look at this again, shall we? With new eyes. Okay? She disclosed things she heard and things she saw. Now, remember, in the probable cause affidavit, we heard nothing. Again, let me just show that to you again. We heard nothing from her. We just heard about DM and her account of seeing a shadowy figure or a man in all black. No, and actually, it's funny because Johnny Cash got bushy eyebrows and he's tall too, but yeah, him dead. So no, it wasn't Johnny Cash, and he got bushy eyebrows, y'all. He got bushy eyebrows and he's the man in black. Never mind, it was a stupid joke. Moving on. They saw somebody. Her account, DM's account is in here, but there's nothing else out there. Then we have the media coming out with some BS saying, hey, she was right there. She was not there. She woke up, she walked out and saw everyone outside congregating and going, shook. Everybody shooketh, right? And now we're hearing that she's disclosing things that she heard and things she saw during her interviews. Now, one thing I will say too, okay? One thing I will say, by the way, Bougie Panda just said, Don Lemon gone. Yeah, he gone. He gone. And Tucker Carlson gone. He gone too, guys. He gone too. But back into this. You have things that she heard and things that she saw. Now, let's talk about this really quick. Sleuthy goosey. Exactly. This is exactly why I brought up that video again that we saw yesterday in our discussion, because dag nabbit. Oh, I'm sure they're going to be doing a show here in about an hour. Doesn't Banfield go on in about 2 minutes from now? So I'm waiting to see what she says. Believe you me, I am really looking forward to seeing if she covers this and talks about this and how and if there's if they backtrack, I'm very interested to see what happens here for sure. But disclose things that she heard and things that she saw. Now, there's a good possibility that the first time when the cops came around, asking, ma'am, where were you on what happened that night? And she could have lied by shock, by fear. Think about it. You almost lost your life. 4 other friends, people that you lived with, that you share the same space with, all of them gone, except you and another roommate. That would absolutely mess with any kid's mind. You got to remember too, she's a kid. Yeah, I get it. You know, they're in college age and all that stuff, but they're still young. They're young. And I could see somebody being so scared that they don't want to talk about anything. And there's a good possibility that they lied. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that that is the truth. I don't know. But I'm throwing out a speculation and a theory in my own mind. But you got cops coming up asking her, what's up? First off, right off the bat, she might have been so scared and not wanted to speak. But after several occasions, as it says in this document, maybe it made her finally loosen up a little bit and say, okay, I really do need to talk about this. I really do need to get in front of this. Here's what really went down. That could be it too. And maybe the probable cause affidavit was already written before she finally started to spill the beans. That could be it too. That could be it too. But I still find it, and if that's not the case, I do find it strange that this wasn't in there. Just saying. Just seems a bit odd with the timing. The timing is a little bit off, don't you think? Just a bit. But moving on. So again, Bethany was present at the home 8 hours later when the police were called. So she showed up and this is the part that I'm even confused about. I'm going to keep it real. Okay? It says Bethany was present at home 8 hours later when police were called. She arrived on scene and discovered the carnage. Somebody make that make sense to me too. That's the part that doesn't make any sense, guys. So you're saying that she wasn't home? That maybe she kicked rocks that later on that night at 4 o'clock in the morning? She kicked rocks, went over to some dude's house for a little moonlighting. You know what I mean? Little love, a hookup, maybe. I don't know. Is that what that means? Because she arrived on scene. Sorry, let me make sure all of that is highlighted. Arrived on scene and discovered what went down. So you're telling me that she wasn't home when all this went down? What exactly does this mean? Yes, of course, Pirate's Booty has to say a booty call. But yeah, glorified booty call. It could be that too. Let me see. Sleuthy Goosey got some interesting theory. They discovered. I'm here to tell you, I don't think anyone who called 911 told them they were deceased people in the house. That could be it too. That could be it too. Aussie Girl is saying she thinks I'm reading that wrong. Okay. You know, Dolphin 517 arrive on scene refers to police. That could very well be right as well. So she was present at the home 8 hours later when the police were called. Okay, so she was there. So in other words, she was there. If I'm reading it that way, police were there, or they arrived on the. Oh, okay. Well, she was present when the police were called. She was present at that house. So then I was wrong. Okay. If you're reading it that way. And that is a possible way of looking at that. But it's so interesting. Okay. So things she heard, things she saw. So remember we did that whole poll. Okay. The whole poll. They said, hey, you guys said, I think she knows more. And this is showing us that she might know more. Now, there are more documents. Hold on. Here as well. And of course, these are like motions to quash the subpoena, for example. Let me just show that to you guys real quick. All right. And somebody just said this. Hold on, guys. Sleuth Goosey just said, if you read the November 20th press release, it says they called police and said one of the second floor roommates was unconscious. When they arrived, they discovered 4 homicides. Now, see, my theory about that, Sleuthy, let me just say that really quick before we continue on. My theory behind that is that I think somebody actually passed out. I think somebody actually passed out. Remember, allegedly, someone used Dylan's phone. Someone used Dylan's phone to make the 911 phone call. And it wasn't Dylan that was on the phone making that 911 call. So my theory is she was either so shook that she passed out, or maybe Bethany was the one that was there discovering these bodies as well, and was so shook that it made one of them pass out. That's what I think. Maybe one was tending to the other. That's why one of the guys made a phone call, or one of the friends made a phone call, and not not one of them. That's just my theory, But I don't think it was a mistake of them going, oh, you see all this red everywhere. I'm just being real. If you see all this carnage, I don't see why somebody would call and say somebody's unconscious. They would just say, oh my God, my friend is gone. Somebody killed my friend. You know what I mean? At least that's what I think. Okay. At least that's what I think. Hold on. Let me check my DMs. Okay, let me pull that up here. Give me 1 second. The very press release. Okay, hold on. Working. Please, guys, do me a favor. All right. Do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. If you appreciate the conversation that we're having, please hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes. Okay. A like doesn't cost a thing, but it helps with the channel, helps with the love. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated as well. And then again, Sleuthy, if you got time to hop on, if you're on your way back to the crib, let me know. Okay. All right. I'd love to pick your brain on this. For real. Sorry, I'm looking at some of you guys' tweets. It's hilarious. Okay, so let's continue on here. Okay, hold on. Perfect. And hopefully it'll be good. Sure. 1 second, Sleuthy. I'm gonna send you that link, dag nabbit. Because if you could do audio, that'd be fantastic too. I just don't want you to get fired. Just say that real quick. But here it is, guys. Let me show you guys this while she starts to get her stuff together. Okay. Because we definitely got to talk about this. All right. So it says here, actually, you know what? This might make it easier. Let me just save this real quick, and then I can blow it up so you guys can see this, okay? Un momento, por favor. Oh, come on. That did not Hold on. Got me working here, guys. I appreciate all y'all being here. Real talk. It does mean a lot. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you can share this feed, that will mean a lot too. Okay. Because obviously, some of you guys aren't getting the alerts like you should be getting. Okay. But let me show you guys this. Okay. The press release. Okay. Here is the press release that Sleuthie Goosey mentioned just a little bit ago. And I'll bring it up again. Okay. So I'm going to blow it up so we can see it a little bit better. Okay. And she highlighted it here. And this, of course, was in November. It says detectives are releasing that on the morning of November 13th, the surviving roommates summoned friends to the residence because they believed one of the second floor victims had passed out and was not waking up. Now, I see that. Okay. I see that. Okay. Now, well, if there's a fake Sleuthie in the house, eliminate. Mods. Engage. Okay, so with this information, let me just blow this up a little bit more. So detectives are releasing that on the morning of the 13th, surviving roommates summoned friends to the residence because they believed one of the second floor victims had passed out and was not waking up. At 11:58 a.m., I'm sorry, a 911 call was requested. A call requested aid for an unconscious person. The call originated from inside the residence on one of the surviving roommates' cell phones. Multiple people talked with the 911 dispatcher before a Moscow police officer arrived at the location. Officers entered the residence and found 4 victims on the second and third floors. And obviously, we know the rest of that story. But let's keep it real here. Okay? Let's keep it real. You have them saying that one of the victims had passed out. Now, that could be it. Maybe. That could be it. But at the same time, I don't know, y'all. Something about all the different types of information that's been flopping all over around here like a wet noodle. It's just frustrating because you don't know what to believe and you don't know what to take in. No disrespect. I get it that this is coming from the Moscow Police Department. Is a press release from them and all that stuff. And this was a week later, by the way. This was a week later. Okay? This was a week later, guys. Let me just... Things changed. Things have changed several months later. That's the only pushback I would say. Remember, there was information that we were learning a week after, 2 weeks after, a day after that completely contradicts the information that we now know. So that's the only pushback I would say about this information here. Because we've heard different, or at least I've heard different when it comes to the survivor roommates and seeing calling about an unconscious person. I've heard 4 different versions so far. And that's after this press release that came out 7 days after this tragedy. So, for me, that's the only pushback I have when it comes to this. I got questiones because I've heard different. And back then, Moscow PD was still scratching their heads, and they were saying certain things that weren't entirely accurate back then. So I feel like there's more information now. that has come out that contradicts that information here. But it's still good information. But I don't know if it entirely still sticks anymore. Just saying. Hold on. So, again, some very interesting information. I do have some things that from Brian Kohberger that I want, not Brian Kohberger, a special message from the one and only. No. I'm kidding. From Brian Enton. There's too many Brians in the world, y'all. Okay. But I do have some more information here that I wanted to share with you guys. Okay. So, Brian Enton, okay. This is all on the same information here. Okay. But again, it says, surviving Idaho roommate BF is arguing she should not have to testify at Brian Kohberger's June preliminary hearing. Court docs attached. In this document, the magistrate judge in Latah, Idaho, says she is required to attend. And again, this is the information. This is all the stuff that we're looking at over here. Whoops, over here. But this is all the information that we're looking at. Okay. This is the motion, their motion to quash the subpoena. Comes now, Kelly Ann Valoria, counsel for BF, and respectfully moves to quash the foreign subpoena out-of-state commission obtained by Evelyn Grosenick, interim Washoe County, public defender, on behalf of defendant Brian Kohberger for preliminary hearing in this case. The motion is made and based upon the attached points and authorities, all papers and pleadings, on file herein, and any evidence and argument to be heard on that matter. And this is, of course, paperwork trying to get rid of this subpoena. They're literally trying their damnedest to say, nah, she does not want to go there. She doesn't want to be a part of this preliminary hearing. And for some weird reason, whatever that private investigators found or heard or discovered, he feels that she has exculpatory evidence that could possibly exonerate Brian Kohberger. And the question still remains, what could that evidence be? What could that information be? Okay? What could that information be? I still want to know myself. Okay? So of course this ex parte foreign subpoena, which was issued on April 11th, 2023, that purports to require BF to appear at the Second Judicial District Court of the state of Idaho, County of Latah, on June 28th, 2023 at 8 a.m. for the duration of the trial, or when released by the court to testify in the above named case. The items provided in support of the subpoena were an ex parte request for foreign subpoena out of state commission, which contained the following: certificate of an Idaho judge to secure the attendance of an out of state witness, ex parte motion for certificate to secure the attendance of an out of state witness, and affidavit in support of a motion for out of state service. So the affidavit in support of motion for out-of-state service further claims that Ms. Funke, whose name is repeatedly misspelled, oh, that's interesting, has information material to the changes against Mr. Kohberger. Portions of information Ms. Funke has is exculpatory to the defendant. These statements are conclusory without support, and there is no further information or detail pertaining to the substance of the testimony, its material, or the alleged exculpatory information of Ms. Funk, or why it would be entertained at the preliminary hearing. Moreover, the subpoena was issued by the clerk of the court without hearing. No hearing has been set for Ms. Funk to address these concerns. So listen, they're going to do, or her lawyer's job is to do everything that they can to not have her step foot in that courtroom, especially if it's on the defense behalf, especially. But we got somebody special in the house. Let me bring her on. Okay. We have Sleuthy Goosey in the house. Hello.
Hello. Is your mind like more blown today than
I mean,
it was yesterday?
Man, my mind is gone. Like, it's just what the hell is going on? I am just lost, man. I am just absolutely freaking lost. I stick a fork in me. I'm done. I'm done. I don't know what the truth is anymore. Are my parents really my parents? Like, I don't know anything. Is this real life? Like, I'm questioning everything now. What are your thoughts on everything so far, man?
I was actually saying this to someone earlier. I think that we, and by we I mean like the group of girls and stuff that I have conversations with all the time, we've been trying very hard to have conversations that are centered around actual facts, and not having outrageous expectations for what we've been looking at, right? So if this knocked me out of my chair when I realized that Mike Baker, who is amazing, and we need more reporters like that with the New York Times, went and got those documents, and I was reading them, and I was like, oh my God, like our heads were spinning, and that's coming from our frame of mind where we weren't making anything of something that was smaller, making it bigger than it was. And so I said to the girls, I was like, I can't imagine how I feel versus how people feel who've been basically told this entire time that everything was so strong and it was so airtight and so solid. Like, this has to be knocking everybody, throwing everyone for a loop. I don't know why it's not being widely reported on.
You want to know why? I think because there's been a lot of people out here that have been putting out countless hours of content, saying otherwise, saying, oh, what we're getting from the media, it must be what it is, right? Oh, if the media says it, then Bob's your uncle. And I think it's jacked up. I think it's, and the thing is it's okay to discuss things and it's okay to have the narrative change because it's a case. We're dealing with a case that's constantly moving, constantly changing. It's its own breathing, it's its own breathing entity right now. And every day, as we get closer to this case or closer to this trial, more information is we're going to, you know what I mean? It's going to have us veering left, veering right. It just is what it is. But when you got stuff that's coming out that's absolute, like this, where you're hearing something completely different, and you got media out here saying something completely opposite from the information that we have here, it's shocking. Like, I expect a few changes here and there, but this stuff, so she could have information that could possibly exonerate Brian Kohberger, when all we've been hearing is She wasn't there. She was asleep. She wasn't there. She walked outside. She didn't see any of the carnage. Now we're hearing something completely different. That's insane to me, y'all. That's absolutely insane.
Right. I think even the thought that even any information at this point, I feel there's a lot of people who
Wait, say that again.
Wait.
Hey, Sleuthy, start that all over again. You must be in a bad area or something. Say that again.
Do I sound?
Are you? Are you?
What's
Are you?
happening?
Can you hear me? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're in a bad area right now. Can you hear me? Okay. Well, that's fine. Hang up on me, man. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hopefully she'll hop back on here in a second. But I'm going to read some of you guys' comments and stuff as well. Yeah, Debbie, her sound was pretty bad. Oh, she's back. But real quick, before I bring her back on, really quick, Harlot, thank you so much for being on here and your comment. News Nation would rather repeat old information as if it's new and put out all kinds of anonymous source BS that they're probably getting from social media. LOL. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the information that I'm seeing as well. It's pretty insane to me, guys. Okay, it is pretty crazy. But Sleuthy is back. Hello, Sleuthy. Hello, Sleuthy, love. Hello, love. Hello. Are you back? Let's see if she figures it out. Make sure you unmute the mic. Okay. But, okay. Unmute the mic. I can't do it. Okay. Well. Okay, remove. Hold on, let me get rid of that one. Okay, hello? Be sure to unmute the mic if you can hear me. Okay. Maybe she's on her way somewhere that has maybe she's on her way to somewhere that has better reception. That would be incredibly helpful, I think. If you're listening, Sleuthy. But Keith or Ind Keith needs to cover this. Man, that'd be wild if I could. I would be definitely interested if I'm not against it. The Brilliant Black Columbo can. Wow. As only the Brilliant Black Columbo can. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Wow. Oh yeah, one more thing. You know, now I need to be chain smoking and have like a glass eye. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Yes. The real woo factor. Yes. Exculpatory to a defendant means that most likely whatever she does know will benefit BK. Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, that could very well, the information she knows could very well help on his behalf. And that's not good. Okay? That's not good. Okay? Sorry. So that's not good. Okay. I would love you to cover this live. Oh, for Kumi, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, for a fact I'm going to be covering this live. Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. I will be covering it live. Okay. Don't you worry about a thing. I will be covering this bad boy live. Okay. When it does happen. Okay. I mean, there won't be any. That's the only thing, though. There won't be any cameras in the courtroom at all until after the like at the end of the day, every day, at the end of the trial day. So that we'll just be getting the information that we get from news reporters and all that stuff, which kind of sucks. But it's not going to be like what we're seeing with the Letitia Stout situation or the Murdoch trial or the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial that we saw. We won't see, and it won't be like that. It won't, and that's kind of the crappy situation about that. We won't be able to see it live. So I will be covering it every time that there's a little bit of movement, etc. We will be talking about it, but like I said, we'll see we'll see what happens here, but hopefully she'll be hopping on here very, very soon, and we can have a discussion about all this. So now the thing is let's be okay. So I'm just trying to read your comments here, see what there's. Yeah, hold on. Let's see. Okay. Well, hopefully she hops on. But anyway, as I was saying, this is still very interesting information, shocking information. And it completely changes exactly what we've been looking at. It completely changes everything that we've been hearing, at least on the side in the narrative and in the storyline of Bethany. And the thing is, what's really wild as well is when we think about all the stuff that's going on with, let's just say, Dylan, okay, with DM. Maybe there's more information. Clearly, there's more information that we don't know. And I'm sure there's going to be paperwork and information here that's going to come out, legal documents, instead of it just being hearsay, instead of it just coming from a source. There will be more information here. I'm telling you, it's going to be very, very fascinating to see what information that we have as time goes on. They're not giving us everything. They haven't given us everything. And I keep wondering if we're going to get everything before even before the actual preliminary hearing. But it is very interesting when you have somebody coming in, okay? When you have somebody coming in being asked to come in like Bethany, who, at least in the things that we've heard so far, is completely opposite than the narrative and the information that we have received thus far. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me. Okay? Absolutely mind-blowing. Let me check here, something here. So, fascinating information, guys. Fascinating information. So I guess, like, let me ask you guys this. What are your thoughts on this? Where do you stand on this? Is this shocking information for you guys? Or is this information that's like, hey, been there, done that? This is not that shocking at all. Okay? I agree too. Televise it, make it public. Oh, okay. So just something that I find very, very interesting nonetheless. Sorry, guys. All right. Sorry. So yada yada just said not shocking to me. Yeah, I mean, to me it's shocking. To me it's most definitely shocking. I could see how some people are not like, okay, typical, so I'm not as surprised as the next person, but me, I'm shocked. I'm definitely shocked. But then again, this is case in point of not fully relying or believing everything that you see in the media out here. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is again, actually, let me see what's going on here, because I'd love to see if there's any updates from News Nation. Because if they're out here getting in front of this, that would be very interesting for sure. Okay. That would be very interesting. Hold on. I'm pulling up News Nation, just seeing the clips that they've put out today alone. And let's take a look at that, shall we? Boom. Nothing so far. Some Lori Vallow stuff. Of course, they're talking about Tucker Carlson and all that, but they are not talking about this so far. And yeah, Richard Jenkins, yeah, they are silent. Okay. Felicia just said, I don't think he did this by himself. I don't think, I'm still thinking that I don't know. I've said it before. I'm going to keep saying it. There's a lot you can do if you're skilled with a weapon, especially one that doesn't reload. As soon as a gun runs out of bullets, it's a freaking paperweight. I mean, you can dodge as many bullets as you can. Let's keep it real. You can dodge as many bullets as you can. But a knife does not need to be reloaded. And if you're skillful with that knife, you could do a lot of serious damage. It takes 2 seconds to hurt somebody with a knife. It really does. And if you are skillful with those pokey things, let's keep it real. That is extremely dangerous. It's an extremely dangerous thing. So I think when it comes to that, I don't know. There's a lot you can do in a few seconds on a person if you know what you're doing and if you know where to attack. And if you're physically stronger than than the person that you're fighting. And you're skilled with a knife, I don't know. It's a lot of damage you can do, guys. It's a lot of damage. Okay. And yes, Laura. Exactly. A knife doesn't wake a house. A gun most definitely can. That's when you know some bad things are going on. Bang, bang, you know exactly something's up. Okay. Nope, that's not a firecracker. That is a gun. And you run for your life. When it comes to a knife, you could hear some muffles. You could hear a scream here and there. Sure, you could do that too. But it depends on how the person's attacking you. I hate to be that graphic or put that in your minds. But if you really put that in your mind, a man that has a little bit of experience with a gun and a person, a strong man that is very skillful or has some skills with a knife, and they walk into a house out of nowhere, unannounced, quietly, when everybody is drunk and falling asleep, that person can do some serious damage. Those are just the breaks, y'all. Unfortunately, those are just the breaks. Okay. But you know what? I am going to open up the video chat line because I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. It'll be quick. Video chat line. So do not call the phone number. Video chat line. Okay. This will be a quick speak on it segment, a flash round. But I'm going to sit here and say, be respectful, be mature, be brief. For the love of God, be brief. Okay. We're going to be doing this very, very quickly. Okay. But I wanted to hear your thoughts on this. Okay. I want to hear your thoughts. So there it is in the chat. Hold up. Let me make sure that it is pinned. Hold on. Skadoosh. All right. Now it's pinned to the top of the chat, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right. Let's make this one. Let's make it quick and brief. If you're interested in hopping on, I'm still fixing the phone line because apparently I can hear it, but you guys can't. So I'm still trying to fix the phone line with this new, I guess the new updates in this program have been acting very funky. Okay. But nonetheless, love to hear your thoughts on this situation. How you feeling about this now that we're hearing this stuff? Is it something that is surprising to you or not? Time to call in. Love to hear your thoughts. And it's the link is pinned to the top of the chat. So again, just make it brief, be concise, and we will rock and roll from there. All right. Actually, one more thing. Made me think of something. Hold on. Let me see here. Yeah. Well, in the meantime, let me show you guys this too. Finding this interesting as well. Hold on.
Surviving roommate in the University of Idaho quadruple murders is fighting a court order to appear at accused murderer Brian Kohberger's preliminary hearing set for June. In late December, Kohberger was arrested for the murders of 4 students who were found stabbed to death in their off-campus home in November of last year. He was extradited from his parents' home in Pennsylvania to Moscow, Idaho. Since then, he's been held at the Latah County Jail. Court documents from March 24th show a magistrate judge ruled Bethany Funke must attend Kohberger's upcoming preliminary hearing. At the time of the murders, Funke was in her bedroom on the first floor of the home on King Road. The other surviving roommate, Dylan Mortensen, later told police she saw the suspect after the crime. As Long Crime Network reported, Mortensen, labeled in the affidavit as DM, said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you," just before 4:30 on the morning of the murders. The court document goes on to say Mortensen saw the suspect, describing, quote, the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. At the time, Mortensen said she stood in a frozen shock phase. Hours later, at 11:58 a.m., the 911 call for the murders came in. Kohberger's defense team filed court documents on March 24th, asking the court to, quote, assist in securing the attendance of Bethany Funke as a witness on behalf of the defendant in this case. In support of this, a criminal investigator hired by the defense team reported facts about the case, pointing out that Funke's bedroom was on the first floor of the home, that she was interviewed by police on multiple occasions, and she was at the home when 911 was called, as well as when investigators arrived on the scene to discover the homicides. Throughout the document, Funke's last name is spelled Funke, missing the E.
True.
Funk's legal representation points this out in court documents filed on April 21st, noting Funk's name is, quote, repeatedly misspelled throughout the defense's filing. Funk's team argues these claims lack support, saying the subpoena was issued by a clerk of court without a hearing, meaning Funke didn't have a chance to address her concerns. They also point out Funke is now out of state, living in Nevada. Her attorneys filed a motion for the court to quash the subpoena that would require her to attend the hearing. So far, a hearing date has not been set to discuss whether Funke will be required to testify. As of now, Kohberger's preliminary hearing is still on schedule to begin on June 26th. It's expected to last multiple days.
Now, like I said, it is interesting. They said she didn't even have a chance to even reply. Like, she didn't even have a chance to have a hearing to put out her plea on why she doesn't want to be there, or have representatives to show up and say, hey, like her lawyers say, hey, these are the reasons why she does not want to be a part of this. This is the reason why we are trying to quash this subpoena. They didn't even get a chance for that. They just said, we need her to be here, and that's it. Period. Which is extremely messed up. Extremely messed up. Okay, guys? But then again, if she has information, if what they're claiming is true, then she needs to be there. There needs to be information given. Or, you never know, the information that they feel that she has that could exonerate Brian could actually incriminate him even more. You never know. So in a way, it's like, you know what? Bring him in. Bring him in. Okay? Bring her in. Because you never know what she says, what she might have to say. She goes in there, she might say a completely different story than what this private investigator is saying that he claims to have learned out here in these streets while he was investigating, gumshoeing it and everything. So I don't know, guys. This is very interesting information. It's very shocking. We will be talking. Hopefully, I will be bringing in someone very special tomorrow to talk about the legal side of this, and just go in a deeper dive into the legal side of this whole thing. It looks like maybe Andrea Burkhart later on in the afternoon. So I might have to watch some of the Letitia trial and then do the conversation with her at the second half of the day, because I think that this is important information as well. So we will be doing like two different things tomorrow. It'll be another busy day for me, but I do want to get this conversation moving and going so that we can understand a little bit more on what's going on. And the other thing too is that I just saw house in the corner of my eye here in the chat. I hope to God that that this trial is forcing I'm just hoping that they're forcing whoever is trying to, the school, the university that's trying to knock down and demolish this house. I hope to God that they keep this house up, because it's still evidence. It's where all of it went down. They got to keep it up. Okay? This could make or break. That could be one crucial thing. There could be one crucial thing in there that could make or break this trial. But as you see, guys, we're hearing more and more information now as we get closer, and a lot of it's contradicting the things that we're hearing from the media. A lot of things are contradicting the information that we have talked about ad nauseum a few months back, a few weeks back. I think it's now where we're going to start seeing a lot more information, a lot more of the truth through these legal documents. What this means with Bethany, I don't know. But I do know that is completely different from what we're hearing, what we've been hearing. Again, we'll see what happens here, guys. This is interesting information nonetheless, okay? But obviously, I see no one's calling in, so we are going to be ending the show. But I appreciate all y'all for being here. Real talk, it does mean a lot, okay? Thank you guys so much. again, thank you to Sleuthy Goosey. You know, she tried to hop on, but it was a weird reception and all that stuff, and you know, timing and everything. But you know, another time we will make sure she comes on and we will talk about things in more detail. Deidre, thank you so much for the 25 super thank you so much for the Cash App $25 super Jesus. Thank you so much for the $25 Cash App. I really do appreciate that, Deidre. That means a lot. Thank you so very much. And again, when we get more information, we will talk about more. We will be doing more of a deep dive into this tomorrow afternoon. I guarantee you that, with somebody that actually knows about this stuff. Okay? Because I'm just a regular guy out here just trying to understand how the world spins. Okay? But I appreciate all y'all for being here again. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. That would really mean a lot, okay? Do not forget to do that. And of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button, okay? And I get it. There's a lot of people out here that are doing the same story right now at the same doggone time. So if you're watching the replay, I appreciate you coming over and watching my take on this. And hopefully you left with more information and got to chuckle a little bit. So I appreciate that. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning to watch the first half of the Letitia Stout trial. Okay. And then in the afternoon, we will be having a deep dive discussion about the legal stuff with, I'm hoping, Andrea Burkhart. So be on the lookout for that. Okay. Another busy day tomorrow, so let's get into it. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another, and I'll see you guys very soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.